I know. And you have the most beautiful family.
Oh,
I
thank
swear.
you.
I follow you on Facebook and I'm like, oh my God, your girls are just adorable.
I feel very
Adorable.
blessed. Thank you.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
that was perfect
Hmm.
timing, Jody. Right as I clicked record. That was perfect.
Ah, perfect.
The behind the scenes.
Very nice.
Exactly.
Well,
Hmm.
let's dive in. Welcome back
Yeah.
for Live with Jane and Jody to everybody that is new to our program. My name is Jane Voorhees. I'm one of the admissions representatives here to help you as you're working on your application and getting ready to apply. I want to make sure you have a successful interview experience and join our community soon. I have been with Sonoran University for, I think, a cumulative of 18 years. I was here for a time. I took a break to go to play Super Bowl. Fun, we'll call it fun. And then I came back to SCNM in 2019. We've transitioned to Sonoran University, and Jody and I are still loving it, here to help you become a part of this program. So that's a little bit about
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Jody, take it away.
Yeah. So my name is Jody Durham, for those of you who do not know me. So I'm originally from the Midwest. I'm originally from Indiana. So South Bend, right there
Hi,
with Dr.
you.
Stewart. Yep, I know. Go back, go the football, right?
Hoosiers.
So I moved out here about 25 years ago. Been with Sonoran for 19 years. So I had the pleasure of working with Jane before, and then she left, then she came back. So we're kind of like a tag team. We do the same thing. I work with last names A through L, where Jane is M through
Mhm,
Z. So,
mhm.
but still same goal. Absolutely love what I do. I can't imagine being anywhere else, and especially in Arizona. So fun, fun. So welcome
Mhm.
everybody. This is our start to 2026 live with Jane and Jody. So Dr. Stewart will be starting us off. So how exciting. We got a lot of alumni coming up this session. That'll be fantastic. So usually what I do is I share a core value. Core value are beliefs of our institution. So today I picked We Shape the Future. So with purpose, educating the next generation of evidence-based healers and leaders through collaboration, embracing interprofessional relationships by expanding knowledge, conducting research that improves health and well-being, and through evidence-based principles while honoring the past. So that's my core value for the
We
Beautiful.
shape the future. Very nice.
day.
That's a good choice, right? We have a huge, great plan for 2026. A very exciting year coming up. So the
Yeah,
future is going to be a lot of fun here on Live with Jane and Jody. As a matter of fact, I think that's the perfect choice for
yeah,
the first of
yeah.
the year. Good
Start it
call.
off.
Mhm. So, everybody, a little bit about our guest today, Dr. Adrienne Stewart. Actually, I was here in 2010 when you were originally a student as well. So, we love to hear about your journey and stuff. Dr. Stewart is originally also from Indiana. So, that's why they think they were both so excited about IU. She's currently living in San Diego, California, a super successful practice. I had the name of it earlier, it slipped my
Yep,
tongue right
Nourish
now.
Medical Center.
That's it. So you got your degree originally from University of Arizona with a nutrition and chemistry minor. Graduated, as I mentioned, from at the time it was SCNM, Sonoran University in 2010. And hobbies include, does that say, oh, it says driving her two girls to ballet classes and performances, as well as focusing on running the business and seeing patients, of course. So it's
Yep, yep,
wonderful to
yep.
have you today. Thank you again for
Yes,
joining us.
Well,
yes,
thank you.
yes, yes.
I'm happy to be
Mhm.
here.
Yeah, awesome. So
So yeah,
Just
Dr. Stewart, oh, go ahead, Jane.
I just want to say one quick reminder, Alexia, and we'll just remind everybody as anybody joins the call, we are recording it. We do like to share these with future students to be able to go back and watch them. So Alexia, so that you're aware, if you want to chime in, feel free to interrupt us, to unmute, turn on your camera, or just use the chat feature. If you have any questions that come to mind, please just share with us in the chat feature so you can be engaged with us as
Yeah,
well. All right, Jody, go for
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. So Dr. Stewart, we usually always start off with, how did you become interested in naturopathic medicine? Where'd your passion come from? Tell us your story.
Yeah. Well, like many people, I think that go to naturopathic school, I was driven by honestly my dissatisfaction of the healthcare system. From a very young age, I was probably as early as I could start walking. I would go to doctor visits with my mom, and I learned I just wanted more for her. I
Right.
learned what liked and didn't like. And I wanted to be the change in the world. And so she was a big inspiration to my health journey. And yeah, it really helped mold who I am today.
Very nice. Very
Right.
nice.
And our own personal journey or that of a loved one, like that is
Mhm.
what I think has brought a lot of this community together for sure, or seeing the need for change.
It's
Yeah.
true. And
Yeah.
then later, actually, after I'd been a practicing doctor for a good chunk of time, I have my own health struggles myself. So now I'm also not just a doctor, but also patient. And I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and so that has also shifted and my everything as well.
Yeah.
And so it keeps me going and keeps me motivated and really happy that I chose this profession.
Yeah. Very
Wow.
nice.
Very inspiring. Thank you for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, gosh, it must have been 2006, right? When you're thinking to apply, 2005. Well, back then,
Yep.
did you apply to all of the schools at the time? We had Bridgeport. You were
hmm
in Indiana, right? So maybe that
hmm
was easier for you. We had a couple of different locations. Did you apply to all the schools or SCNM at the time?
I think I toured a few of the schools, but I might have only applied to Sonoran, SCNM at the time. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, I was pretty clear of where I wanted to go.
You had already gone to
Okay.
University of Arizona.
I did. Yeah. So
Yes.
Okay.
yes, I already
Okay.
fell in love with Arizona.
Okay. Fair enough.
Good
Fair enough.
choice.
I always
Mhm.
wonder, coming from Indiana, all the schools that are around you, Chicago
Sure.
probably being the closest one,
hmm
it's like, is location as big of a deal as like Jane and I think it is?
I think so.
I do too. I do too.
I mean, definitely. I mean, especially my in my young 20s version of myself, it was, it's a big decision with the environment you want to be around, and then yeah, if you have friends or family, and kind of where you
hmm
see yourself long term too.
Right, right. So besides location,
Hmm.
what set Sonoran or SCNM
Yeah.
to the top of your choice? What were you looking for in a school?
Yeah, obviously a reputable and just a genuinely great education. Like I said, in my 20s, it was, location and all of that was really important. And I mean, it's still extremely important to me today. But now I
Mhm,
can definitely say in hindsight, I'm so excited and happy that I went to Sonoran because I think it was just a really important part of the education because of the scope of practice in Arizona.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
I mean, yes, I am biased. I will fully admit that. But I think that for someone that doesn't necessarily even know the practicing side on the other end of school, how that shifts your career and the trajectory, how important that is. And
Mhm.
with Arizona's scope of practice, it exposed me to all sorts of different modalities, but then had a little bit more freedoms of practice.
Very
It's so
nice.
great to hear just like even your vision, your understanding of it, and still how we still have that wide scope of practice. I want
Exactly.
to jump ahead like into okay, what's it like in California? But I want to hold on,
Mhm.
let's stay on track and
Yeah,
focus
yeah.
on the past.
Sure.
So you chose Sonora and you knew you were coming here. It looks like with a great academic foundation, nutrition and chemistry. Was the program as hard as you thought it would be? Was it harder? How was it the academic struggle?
Yeah. So I am one to constantly strive for excellence. As far as, I mean, this is, I'm a student of life and I hope to always be a student in some sense. And I pushed myself. My background. I don't normally tell people this, but I'll share it for this, for your question is, so I was valedictorian in high school. I got straight A's throughout undergrad. And so, I mean, so back to your question, yes, it was a challenge. Nothing though that I couldn't overcome. I pushed myself and then thankfully, yeah, I graduated with highest academic achievements as well. So challenging but doable. Thank you.
Very good. Very
And
good.
yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Amazing. No,
Fantastic.
and I love that because for sure your classmates, your cohort, all of you are so driven and driving and pushing the hardest. So it's definitely challenging for some and it's great to have you right there saying, no, absolutely, we're all going to get through this and let me
Yeah.
show you how. And you're a TA before your time and just it's so great that you're there as a rock
Yeah.
in the community as well. So
Yeah.
was there anything that you
Yeah.
would say was the most challenging part of the program?
Right.
What do you feel
Right.
was the most challenging?
I think I would recommend, it just depends. It depends on the student, it really does. I personally, at the beginning, maybe the first year, if I don't know if I could turn back time or maybe do things a little bit differently, maybe I wouldn't compare my learning styles with others as
Mm.
much. And or, oh, this person is, studying all night, or this person didn't, study at all or whatnot. So, and I think that's probably important for all of us just in general is like
Right.
stop the comparison so much,
Sure.
and
Mm-hmm.
also don't beat yourself up too much either. So I, strive for excellence, but don't have it be to a level that's, crippling or holding you back.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Very nice. Very good. Very good advice. Very good. So do you feel that you had a life outside of school with
Yeah,
all the
absolutely.
studying and all the
Yeah.
classroom? Yeah.
No, that's
Okay.
important for sure. So
Okay.
I got married right before I started school. And so, yeah,
Okay.
that was the beginning of a new marriage at the
Oh,
time. And
okay.
that was thankfully very easy to maintain and
Mm-hmm.
have a good foundation to outside of school life as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Did you participate in any clubs while you were in school that would keep you busy on the outside?
I don't remember.
No. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I'm all, it's been, 15, 18 years ago. So maybe.
Okay. Okay.
I think volunteer, I was, I think then the NMSA, I think I was on maybe the
NMSA. Okay.
board or so I definitely was involved. Uh,
Okay.
but I tell you, as far as also kind of outside life other than school, is that this is such a time period of my life too that I was surrounded by like-minded students that had a
Mm-hmm.
similar goal, a drive, background perhaps, but then also other students that have totally different backgrounds. And the more that you can also just genuinely set some time away from like studying, but just forming those relationships and those
Right.
friendships
Right.
is such a wonderful gift.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm still
Absolutely.
very close to some of my classmates and
Mm-hmm.
stay in touch and now we, go back and forth about clinical communications as well.
Sure.
Nice. Nice.
What an amazing network indeed. So
Hmm.
fun. Hmm.
Hmm.
Is there anything you would do different? Like, would you do it all over again? Is there anything you would do different through that experience? I mean, it sounds rich, enriching, like everything you've shared so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would do it all over again. Would I do anything differently? Yeah, I think some just maybe just being a little bit more gentle, maybe on myself. Maybe prioritizing the friendship side of things too, honestly. Because again, being super driven and academic, that is wonderful. But then also just what a sweet opportunity to also
Yeah.
form some really lifelong friendships. So
Yeah.
maybe just nourishing that a little bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You did mention valedictorian, high honors, things like that. Were you part of STA? Did you in NMSA makes me think student advocacy? were you president of anything, or you're like, I don't know.
I don't remember.
Right. No, that's okay. That's
Some of
okay.
these things I could have been, and it's so funny. So actually, in undergrad, I started an integrative medicine club at University of Arizona, and so I was president of that,
Okay.
and that was a lot of exposure, definitely to naturopathic medicine and different types of providers. So that was, yeah, that was a
So
really
great.
cool time.
Again, that was back in 2005. Like, I love
Yeah.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I still feel like
Yeah.
undergrad students just don't know that we're even here and stuff. So give us
Yep.
more of those ideas. How do we find those students? So,
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And this is a kind of a funny side story, but perhaps tangible for our upcoming students. When I started the Integrative Medicine Club at University of Arizona, we would have guest speakers come in. And I
Hmm.
had a guest speaker that was a naturopathic doctor. She was a female herself, and she came in wearing these high heels. And there was something about it. I mean, she is to this day incredibly smart, successful, practicing naturopathic doctor. But I remember her heels. And I just thought, I was like, you know what? She kind of makes this cool. And I'm like, I want to bring that into my, profession and my practice. And the fact that like I can be a doctor, I like would love to be brainy and I love herbal medicine and I love all of this, but I can still wear high heels. So anyway, that was an influential moment when I was, you know, at that age.
love
So do
it.
you
Thank you
wear
for
high
sharing.
heels in your
Oh,
practice?
so fun.
I do. Not all
Yeah.
the time,
Okay.
Right.
but every once in a while.
Very nice. Very
Mhm.
That's
nice.
great.
Awesome.
Thank you for
Awesome.
doing fun stories.
Yeah.
Quick reminder to our guests, thank you for joining us. We are recording, but we would love questions from you. Any questions for Dr.
Hmm.
Stewart, please do drop them in the chat or don't be shy. You can unmute and feel free to jump in the conversation anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's go a little bit into professional part of it. So did you do a residency at all?
I
You
did.
did.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did my residency at Sonoran,
Okay.
and yeah, it was excellent.
Okay. 1 year, 2 year?
I did a 1 year. Yeah,
Okay. Was that general medicine?
it was. Yeah. And I had
Okay.
a bit of a extra focus in women's medicine and environmental
Okay.
medicine at the time.
Okay. So let me ask you, because not everybody does a residency,
Mhm.
although Jane and I highly recommend it. Why did you decide to do a residency?
I
What
think
was your
that,
drive?
yeah, it was a opportunity to have a bit of a smooth transition from being a
Okay.
student to a practicing doctor. And I'm grateful for that. I honestly wish a residency was available for every graduate
Mm, I
because
agree.
eh,
Sure.
I
eh,
agree.
it, it's commonly only available for, you know, the kind of the kind of top academically, at least of the class. And
Hmm.
so I think it would be so valuable for everyone. Just to have more clinical training and
Hmm.
also just a little bit of oversight and making decisions on your own. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So if it
I
was
agree.
more accessible and yeah, and so again, another reason to just strive for excellence to hopefully have that opportunity.
Mhm. A couple of quick questions on the note. This one's kind of random and silly, but was
Mhm.
your residency at the Scottsdale clinic or did we have the Tempe clinic? Was it all on the campus? Do you remember?
It was a mix. I was in
Also,
the
Oh,
transition period of Scottsdale, yeah,
yeah.
okay.
and I think the residency might have just been in Tempe, but I did
Mhm.
definitely go to
Some of your
Scottsdale as
training in
well.
Scottsdale. That's just funny. I just
Wow.
think back to
Yeah.
the old days,
That's yeah, I
right?
remember the
Well, and
Scottsdale
I had
one.
a lot of classes in the old annex building that
Hmm.
is, I mean, it was
walk
Yep.
the labyrinth out there a few times a week,
Mhm.
right? Just to
Mhm.
release and let go,
Mhm.
for sure. Forgot about the old
Yep.
annex. Oh, it's so
Mhm.
Yep.
funny. All right, so
Yep.
futuristic. Are you open to a residency position in your practice? Like, are you able to create that? What would it take?
Yeah, so currently there's my practice is quite large. There's 10 of us naturopathic doctors. And
Nice.
so I have, thank you.
Nice.
It's a beautiful, successful, and quite large medical center to be able to, it's been a bit of my baby
Wow.
to be a part of
Wow.
and have that. So, as far as residencies, it's a little different here in California. But
Okay.
open to it and have definitely considered it. And I do a modified version of that already.
Okay.
Great. That's
Hmm.
fantastic. Wow, what a successful
Interesting.
practice. Okay, let's fast forward, Jody. What other questions do we have?
So
Now I
I
want to
want
hear
to
about
know.
this.
I want to know. So being in a very successful practice, because I've gone to your website and I
Thank
see,
you.
the group of doctors that you have working for you. Did you have any business background to run a business and be an owner of a business? And how difficult was that?
So no, I did not.
Okay.
Or not
Okay.
really. So my parents are farmers in Indiana, speaking of, and so it's
Okay.
a small,
Okay.
but so I think that that was a good background just to know, obviously small business, but work ethics and a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship there and
Mm-hmm.
just grit.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
definitely the farming background,
They
growing up
work hard.
had
Yeah.
a influence on, I guess, my own business and entrepreneurial endeavors.
Okay.
But no, it's not like I got an MBA. Like I don't have any strong business background. However, so yeah, a lot of it started with a bit of a trial and error, but just making sure I had that like vision of what I want and whatever I needed to do to get from A to B. And
Mm-hmm.
I would, in school, I took some additional classes outside of school. At the time, it was HBBH with Dr. Tom and Andy, and they were a big
Okay.
influence and still are to this day on me. And so having that mentorship and their guidance helped facilitate, I would definitely say, my business success. And then I practiced in Arizona for a few years and then came out to San Diego. And then my husband joined Nourish. And then that has absolutely amplified and he has a background in business. So, so,
Okay.
so
Okay.
he has been my everything and has helped support all of the doctors that work here at Nourish and has definitely had that wonderful business hat on and helping guide us.
Okay. Okay. Wow.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah,
That's
so that was
awesome.
my next question is so
Mm-hmm.
right out of residency,
Mhm.
you worked with a group practice here
I
in
did, yeah. So I
Arizona?
was an employee, yeah. And
Uh-huh.
so
Okay.
I've had a lot of different roles throughout my
Okay.
career. So I was a student, resident,
Okay.
and then I was an employee, and then an
Okay.
independent contractor, and then I
Okay.
was a partner, and then now
Mhm.
sole owner of a medical
Wow.
center. So it's been a
Wow.
really
Mm.
great journey too, because I have had so many different roles, and it's a good perspective of the pros and cons of each of those different roles in a business
Mm-hmm.
and can relate to,
Mm-hmm.
the ups and downs of
Mm-hmm.
the different
Right. Right.
demands of those roles.
Wow. Wow.
The natural
Fantastic.
trajectory, like it definitely sounds like natural stepping stones in the perfect path, or
Yeah.
how it worked out
Mhm.
perfectly to where you are today, just thriving and super successful. Outstanding. Nice.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But it hasn't,
Cool.
it hasn't, along the way, I have to add, there was absolutely struggles and blood, sweat, tears. I mean, there was a lot of, I mean, I would definitely say a lot of disappointments and rejections and things that also just fueled my success as well. So it wasn't just,
Okay.
a perfect, just climb.
Indeed.
There
No.
was, all of the whole journey of it all, and it all needed to happen and to unfold into where we are today.
Learn to grow. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so great. So let's talk about that practice. 10 doctors, are they all naturopathic doctors? Is your husband a naturopathic doctor? Is that somebody we didn't like? And now I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
man, are you also seeing patients? Or I mean, you sound busy. You do see patients because we
Mhm.
almost, yeah, we
Yeah,
have
we had to
scheduled the
reschedule. Yeah,
patient.
weekly patient
Yes.
today
My
that
gosh, I
for
have
this.
so many questions now, right? So let's start there. Like, are they all 10 naturopathic doctors?
Yes. So there's 10 of us naturopathic doctors. No, my husband's not a naturopathic doctor. So he went to school for business and finance,
Okay,
and his background actually was in mortgages. But
okay.
he's just a wonderful, just I don't know, just a resource. So he has learned all, as we're growing all together. And so wherever the pain points were, kind of definitely would help step in on that side of things. But as far as, yeah, actually 10 of us naturopathic doctors. And then plus we have a health or a life coach, plus lots of different referrals. And then we have another doctor that does regenerative medicine. So it's actually kind of more 12 plus of us.
Wow.
So, but yeah, as far as the 10 naturopathic doctors, they all have different areas of interest and different niche and the different schools. So some from Sonoran, some from Bastyr, some from or one from Connecticut. And so we have a very bit of a eclectic group
Nice.
amongst ourselves,
Very nice.
Great. Oh,
which I
well,
love because then we all
diverse.
like can, as far as just help each other out and have different perspectives on patient care.
Hmm. And I'm thinking of you all obviously have very similar training in botanical medicine, homeopathy, even manipulation, like those types of tools and stuff. So when you say we have our own niche, it's the type of patient they're seeing, whether it's pediatrics or women's
Exactly.
wellness or okay, okay.
Yeah,
That because that's kind
absolutely.
of like our next question is what types of
Yeah.
patients do you see normally? It sounds like your whole clinic is all over the board. What's your favorite?
Mhm. Yeah, no, you're right. As far as, yeah, I mean, we literally, as far as Nourish Medical Center, see newborns to, people's last days of life. So all
Oh, yeah.
ages. My personal passion is helping people overcome fatigue and hormone concerns. So I would definitely say probably 30 to 60-year-old females are who
Oh,
my most
that's me.
common demographics is. And I love it. And I'm really blessed to see the impact that it makes on like whole families' lives. And to be honest, one of my like favorite things that I love doing is I actually sit here at my desk, and if I'm not with a patient, I keep my door open and I just will watch people and patients as they walk by, and people that I may not even know, but yet I hear a little bit of their story, or, oh my goodness, I feel so much better, or da 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 da. And
Oh
just
my
seeing
gosh.
the other doctors at my office just have such a beautiful impact. And mine is more indirect, but it's like soul food to me whenever I just am able to
Yeah.
just to kind of witness that.
The tree
And
that you've
so,
developed. Oh yeah, yeah. No, beautiful.
Oh, fantastic.
Hmm.
How fantastic.
so yeah,
Wow, wow, wow.
I think that that's what, I mean, going into this profession is just knowing that you're not just helping one patient. There's definitely the ripple effect of how that can impact the whole family dynamic and so many people that you may not even ever meet.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Wow. Wow. So
Mhm.
what is a normal day like for you? What's your day like?
Yeah, so and going back to your question too, as far as if I still see patients. So I see patients 3 days a week. So
Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Monday and Fridays are a combination of working on the business. So I work
Okay.
in the business and on the business, and or being a mom of two little girls. So yeah, as
It
far as my
seems
day
to
to
keep you
day, yeah,
busy.
I do quite a bit in the day to day, but I love it. But it's also it's always a strive to have fit some joy along the way.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, we talked about patient. What about modalities?
Mhm.
I was curious of obviously in the scope of practice in Arizona, acupuncture is included within that curriculum.
Mhm.
I'm sure it was back then. Dr. Dang has been around
Yep.
forever. He's still here, thankfully.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
so are you able to use acupuncture in your clinic? Does anybody have LAC? Also, you're shaking your head. No, go ahead.
Yeah. So no, we don't practice acupuncture here. None of my team currently have an LAC. Definitely have had in the past, but great acupuncturists here in the community that we refer back and forth. But no, just with California laws, there's just some not as large of a scope of practice when it comes to certain things like that. So acupuncture, no. Uh,
Mhm.
but it's still, to me, I really like having those foundations. So knowing obviously to when to refer, what to refer for, or how they may go about it. And yeah, just for my own knowledge and approach to have that background is still I still utilize.
The diagnosing, the technique is different in
Mhm.
Chinese medicine versus even just
Mhm.
a naturopathic intake. Like, is that what you're
Right.
referring to?
Yeah, a
Okay.
little bit. Yeah. And so I just appreciate having that background, even though it's not a part of my or common day to day.
Mhm. Is there a common modality that you use, or do you truly, is there a variety? Do you also do physical manipulation?
I don't do physical manipulation. Again, just some different restrictions here in California and just my personal passions. But I would definitely say I'm more of a vitalistic generalist naturopathic doctor. And so I use a lot of the modalities, and really the approach towards my patient is what is most core to naturopathic medicine is, lots of tools, but it's about how we use our tools.
Mhm. Well said. Well said. We actually have a chat. Dr. Stewart, from a business perspective, what would be your number one advice for anyone who wants to pursue their own practice in the future? Any skills or experience they can polish during and after graduating? Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, excellent question, Elizabeth. So I think it's important for students to realize that the schools are wonderful, and don't expect everything to be provided in the school as well, as far as education. I think it's important to know, like, hey, yeah, if you feel like there's a void, or if I need more business education, it's up to you. You need to go seek it out. These days I mean, there's so many free resources, from podcast to
Right.
YouTube and so forth, just that has, very successful business strategies. So I would probably say it's wise to always have that business mindset as you're going through school. And for a student, when you're in classes, to always think, how can I apply this? Or how is this pertinent to patient care? Or what are the demands? Because it's
Mhm.
incredibly important um, to have the health of your business. I see too many new grads are like, okay, and then they give it their all, but they're not focusing
Yeah.
on the sustainability of growth and business and what does this look like long term. And I would definitely, have the mindset of just starting out with the success mindset, with regards to I'm going to be busy one day. Is this sustainable? And what do I need to do to make my SOPs or how to make the flow efficient and effective? Let's see. Any
Wow.
skills, experiences that can polish during and after graduating. So I would recommend current students, if they have the opportunity, even if it's to volunteer in a naturopathic medical center, just expose yourself to actual real life practices. You're going to learn so much. You're going to learn like what are patients asking about? What are their pain points? And it will shift your education. So when you hear these topics come up, to be like, hey, I could be a part of this solution. There's a pain
Mhm.
point, I can help solve that. So yeah, volunteering, just hearing what people are asking about, what their needs are, using different, even outside of Sonoran education business. There's plenty of books and resources.
Right. Right.
Thank you again for the question, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. All right. What is your average time, Dr. Stewart, with your patient, whether it's a new patient or a returning patient? How much time do you spend with them?
So one thing that's really important for my approach with my other providers here at Nourish Medical Center is that I want everyone to I want the longevity of their practice. So everyone has a little bit of a different needs and desires. Some of our providers prefer like 1 hour new patient visits. Personally, I really like an hour and a half.
Mhm.
So it just
Okay.
depends on the doctor, to be honest. But I would say
Mhm.
on average an hour to an hour and a half. But personally,
Okay.
an hour and a half for new patient. And then for follow-up, 30 to 45-minute follow-ups are most common.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Makes sense. And like you said, it's going to depend on the patient,
Absolutely.
yeah, and a doctor style for sure.
For sure. And
Where do
it's also a
you?
skill set to also be able to kind of control the room a
Yeah.
little bit too, with regards to
Mhm.
timeliness, because that kind of goes back into the business perspective too. Is that, yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, as much as, we are so caring and loving and want to just offer the whole, like, just
Right.
everything, it's not a smart choice to do that. And I see too many new grads just almost spend too much time at the first one or two appointments, which is lovely and all. But then you have to think, how are you training your patients? Then they're going to have this expectation that appointments are always going to be that long. And if they're
Mm,
not, then it's a takeaway. And so, kind of what I was referring to, like plan for success of like plan for you're going to be busy and you're going to have patients and you can't just spend an hour or 2 hours all the time with every patient. It also can be incredibly overwhelming too. I think with new grads, they're like, ooh, there's all these things that we could talk about and dive into. But if you really sit in the chair as a patient to be like, okay, this is overwhelming,
yeah.
and or just I don't think I can do all of this. So meeting the patient where they are. And also, if you create a really good rapport and relationship with your patient, then hopefully you're going to be their doctor for years to come. So
Mhm.
just whatever this whole like master plan that maybe you create is just have it perhaps deliver it in phases.
Well said.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw phases to come. So do you already have your sights on another location? Are you expanding? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I am very content with our current location and our size. I wish I could say could have more parking. Here in San Diego, parking is a issue. So that keeps us a little bit I guess this physical size for our practice. But our practice does a hybrid of in-person, phone, and video appointments. So that
Right.
allows us to not, I guess,
Mhm.
need as many parking spots. It's all about parking.
Right.
That is life goals. So
Yeah.
in 5 years, yeah, we'll see. But I'm trying to be very protective of and what we have is very, like I said, it's like a child of mine, and so it's a sacred space, and like I'm very content, and we're in very good places right now. And I have definitely seen some colleagues have multiple locations
Mhm.
and it not work out for them.
Mhm.
And I'm cautious about
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
because too of just my own personal side with taking care of my own health since I'm overcoming the challenge of multiple sclerosis. And then also as a mom, my two kids, and as a wife, that is a really important aspect of my life. So I think just cherishing these years because, yeah, by that
Mhm.
time, I'm always thinking about like, how old will my kids be in 5 years? And where are they going to be? What phase of life? It's a different,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
different phase. But as far as business wise, I want to just the longevity, the sustainability, and just keep rocking it out and having an impact on our patients and their families.
Doing that. That's
Awesome.
perfect.
Yeah. I did want to ask, do you offer any kind of shadowing in the office? Say a student learning more about naturopathic medicine, but they need to maybe even see a naturopath, but can I observe one? Do you offer that in the office?
So Bastyr is 3 minutes from our medical center. So
Okay.
we commonly have preceptors here,
Okay.
and it's we have a wait list. It's
Oh, okay.
Okay.
it's
So it's their current students. We're asking for
oh, I
potential
see.
Yeah.
candidates, like applicants
Yeah.
that are still in undergrad, that are trying to decide what kind of
Mhm.
doctor they might want to
Right.
go
Mhm.
to what
Right.
kind of
Mhm.
medical school they want to go to.
Right.
We're a little selective with regards to
Sure.
who we let precept, to be completely honest. And a lot of times
Okay.
we only allow it for
Mhm.
current students or students are getting ready to graduate. So that way, then we can have conversations of a little bit of like a residency style or associate doctor relationships.
Okay.
My advice for those that are, pursuing it is go be a patient. It is an important investment. Like just go create a good relationship. I mean, it's important to see, I mean, transform your own health if you're having or being proactive about your health or what else can I do? So I would say go pay to be a patient.
Mhm.
Okay. Very good.
Perfect.
Good,
Good
good. I
advice.
agree. Totally agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I would imagine probably a lot of busy practices are gonna say no.
Yeah.
I mean, and
Mhm.
then there are I mean, bless it, anybody and everybody that contributes and pays it forward, and we try to as much as possible there too. But also like go experience this medicine for
Mhm. Yeah.
yourself
For
too.
yourself,
Yeah,
always. Yep. We always recommend that
Yeah.
from our perspective. What
yeah,
do I need to do before my interview? Well, have you been a patient yet?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you need to experience this. So,
for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
Mhm.
Sit in the patient's chair too, and that's only going to make you a better doctor.
Right. So, on that note, advice, like what words of advice would you give to the students in this room who are about to embark? Maybe some of them, like I had mentioned, are already admitted. What words of advice do you have from this point?
Uh, Go work hard, everything with intention. If this is your passion, then just dive in with both feet. this is not a field to dive in with a couple toes or 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like honestly, it's just it doesn't. I mean, just with it's an investment, So make this time as intentional as possible. Study hard, work hard, ask lots of questions, keep that business side always, keep that hat on as you're learning, because it's really important, because what we have to offer, and in a lot of states, it's a self-pay, cash pay world. So you have to be not only a good doctor, but above and beyond for someone to pay out of pocket. And times are, just they're changing. And so strive for excellence. Please represent our profession in a positive light, and like I keep going back to the word excellence, because we need more of this in the world. We need kindness, we need welcoming, we need a different perspective. We need to fill the voids and help people's pain points in healthcare. Every day, people come to us because they're just fed up, where they're not getting the answers, they're not getting the care, the respect, and that is something that we can do and offer. And that's what keeps us successful. And so it's not about us versus them. And if it ever becomes like that, just brush it off your shoulder, because you've got to know of what you're able to do and how you can impact people's lives. And yeah, like I said, represent this profession. I'm in a really funny place with my oldest daughter, because she says she wants to be a doctor, and so I'm starting to have some of these conversations too about, like, okay, well, 2 feet in.
That's
and
funny.
two, like, how are you going to pay back? You just constantly have that business hat on there too, with regards to get really educated on these things, and just listen to what the demands are, and where are the voids in healthcare, and help fill those, and then you'll be successful.
Yeah. Where do
Love it,
you
love it.
hope to see the profession in 5 years?
Great question. I I'm always trying to see this crystal ball.
I know, I was going to say your crystal
And I want to
ball.
give you like an honest opinion. My hopes are there's going to be a continual growth in numbers in our schools, and access to residencies, access to clinical experience. Thankfully, we've kind of we're over the struggles of some of the pandemic with
Right,
that, because it
right.
was very virtual there for a while, and had some concerns. So the more that we can be hands-on with our patients, I think it will set us aside, and from people that are doing kind of naturopathic medicine as an influencer, or maybe don't not have the same educational background,
Right, right.
and what will make us different. And then also, it's a honest and real question of is how is AI going to shift our profession and the next 5 years. So just definitely always listening about, yeah, how to work with AI. I don't think it's wise to resist it, because it is here.
Yes,
And
exactly.
but yeah, learning how to use it as a tool, almost a modality. There should be, I don't know,
Right.
is there an AI
There you go.
class at
That's a good.
Sonoran University yet? Because it probably should be,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
how we can not compete with it, but utilize it
But
as
utilize it.
another modality, as another strength of ours. And I do that regularly with patients, and I think so far so good. But I don't know, in 5 years, I think it's important to make sure to set ourselves up for success, knowing that that's coming even, more prevalent.
Definitely.
Exactly. Exactly.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm one that's I'm a brick and mortar type naturopathic doctor. But everyone's
Hands
different.
on. That's what we
Yeah.
like. That's what we need.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
doing that. And thank you for
Yep.
being there.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
yeah.
Thank you for being here today. Like truly, we are so grateful for your time, even with the little conflict. We want to give you, 5 minutes back if we can.
Yeah.
Thank you to those that joined us on the call. We do have a big year coming up every month, new
Yep,
and exciting names. But Dr.
yep,
Stewart, yeah, I truly appreciate your time, your energy, just all that you're doing out there. Keep it
Yeah.
up. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
My
yep,
pleasure. And
yep.
good luck to you all and strive for excellence.
Strive for
Awesome.
excellence.
Good,
Very
good
good.
words. All right. Thank you so much. We
Mhm.
appreciate all of you. And again, Dr. Stewart, we appreciate you and what you do for the world. Absolutely.
My
Yeah.
pleasure. You too.
Okay. All right.